that beast of football everything they wanted. Don't forget the replay through ATVO tomorrow night.
1971 grand final between Dandenong and Preston. Now this was, as most of you would realise, one of the most controversial grand finals in VFA football when Frosty Miller was awarded a free kick before really the game got underway. This became a contentious point after the game, with Preston appealing to the VFA and asking for a replay of the grand final. This appeal was dismissed. Now, to tell us something about the game, Hugh Mitchell, the coach of Dandenong, and as I said, Hugh, in the introduction here, that it was one of the most controversial, I suppose, that you've been associated with.
Yes, Philip, we had a very satisfied victory at the finish, both from the tribunal's point of view, as when the protest was lodged, but the game overall was very pleasing from the Dandenong Footballers Club point of view, and I feel, as far as the game is concerned, that conditions that day were rather disappointing towards the end of the game, but I felt in my own mind that if the conditions were a lot finer, I don't think there'd be any problems about a protest.
This is the way you'd like to see the Dandenong side playing in this particular film?
Well, yes, I felt that under dry conditions, we're at least a 5 or 6 goal better side on the day.
Thank you, Hugh. And now, in a moment, we'll see this controversial grand final, the start of the game. But we do point out that this film is brought to you with the compliments of the Prince Mark Hotel, where sportsmen meet. And if you want a great counter lunch at any time, do go along to the Prince Mark Hotel. And now let's have a look at the 1971 grand final between Dandenong and Preston.
Well, I've never, ever seen anything like this before in my life. I've seen it at the start of a quarter, but not at the start of a grand final.
They've got in progress even.
There it is. A goal kicked by Frosty Miller. And that'll be one talked about for a long, long time. But a sensational opening.
How can he get a goal when the game hasn't even started yet, Phil?
Well, he hasn't even signalled to the timekeepers.
No.
Well, now, what is the situation?
Anyway, it's on the scoreboard.
In other words, when do you start the clock?
That's right. The clock has started from the moment he saw the free kick and paid it.
All right. Well, there's the bounce of the ball, and that's the first bounce we've seen in the match, and the first knockout to Eddie Mealy, and this could give it a pretty hectic opening to the game. A pick-up by Mealy, kicks it back in towards the centre of the ground. Going after it here is Danny Hibbert, and Dowdle coming through, but free kick awarded to Dowdle, a pull around the neck. And listen to the Preston supporters. Well, there's Dowdle with the kick up towards the centre half-forward zone. They fly for it. Davies tried to get it, couldn't get possession. Hibbert gets it. He plays it up and pushed in the back to Laurie Hill, and Hill gets the free kick. It was played up towards Platt Clarity. Well, that's unsettled everyone, I think, that opening, Ted.
I think it unsettled the scoreboard at 10-2.
Dear, oh dear. Laurie Hill comes out from the half-back line, plays it up towards the half-forward flank, and I'd pay that one to the man coming in from behind, Harold Martin of Preston. Well, McMaster likes a sensation or two, and I reckon that was the best way ever. Now Martin appears to be limping slightly too as he moves in to pick up this ball. Limping on the left leg. He goes for the short pass. It goes wide of players. Getting offloaded here with Saltmarsh. And Waitman is the player down under the pack. Tries to break away. Held on to. Doesn't quite get the full ball over the line. It goes out towards the centre half-forward position. Shinner's coming in, and here's the Lashmead, who played so well last week, getting around opponents and pulled over the line with the ball, and it will be thrown back into play on the left half-forward flank. Players appealing for the free kick down there, but the umpire rules that it will be thrown back into play, and it comes, and the knockout secured by Mealy. Comes back to Hibbert. Hibbert goes for the hand pass to Harrington. Harrington puts it straight up in the air. It won't travel any distance. Come through to Ireland, and Ireland of Preston puts it up towards the forward pocket position, and there'll be a free kick awarded down here, and it'll go to Saltmarsh of the Preston side. I think the umpire might have helped Preston a bit by giving the free kick against them.
Well, he certainly left it within their play, Phil. You can see the way they've been playing since he gave that free kick to Frosty Miller before the game started. And just looking at that free kick there, Abrahams had no alternative but to go at Saltmarsh the way he did. Saltmarsh is going to mark it anyway.
Well, Saltmarsh getting ready to come in now. Now Saltmarsh coming in from the left forward pocket position. at the scoreboard end. And he's put it through for full points, so it takes Preston to 1 goal and Dandenong also on the 1 goal.
Well, what a sensational opening to this game. Frosty Miller gets a free kick before the game had even started. Now, whether the umpire had the power, the right to award this free kick, I didn't hear them signal to the timekeepers that the game had commenced, but he decided to award that free kick. Well, the score is on the scoreboard now, Dandenong 1 goal, and I do feel that giving that goal certainly lifted Preston, and they replied very quickly.
We're just waiting for the ball to be returned to the centre. It looks like a new ball. It went right over the top of the scoreboard. A new one coming out, and they've been playing 3 minutes into the first term. Frosty Miller given a free before the ball was even bounced. If you've just tuned in.
I hope he doesn't do the same thing with this new ball.
Well, it takes Frosty Miller on to 95 goals for the season now. Another 5 to reach his century. In they move, and up they go, and it's Eddie Mealy directing the knockout. Shinners overran the ball. It comes through to Hibbert, and Danny Hibbert of Dandenong up towards centre forward. It comes through to Frosty Miller. Crunch, down he goes, and the umpire now rules holding the ball. Yes, he let it go when he was tackled. There it goes on the half-back line, and in they move for it. And it's Shinners Orchard, isn't it? Shinners coming in to take it. Shinners out towards that left forward pocket. Danny Hibbert bearing down on the ball. It eludes him, and down he goes. And Hibbert will get the free kick. Who's that who put him down? Fisher? Fawcett. Fawcett. So it's Hibbert now getting the free on the left half-forward flank. But actually between the forward flank and the left forward pocket at the Fitzroy Street end of the ground. A gusty type of wind, mainly on the outer side of the ground. The stand protecting from the centre across to the stand side. It goes up towards Fawcett. Fawcett moving into the ball. He's met solidly by Miller, and it'll be a free kick going to Fawcett. Well, it's a pretty lively opening to the VFA Grand Final. Dandenong and Preston with both sides on 1 goal. Dandenong in the black trucks. There goes onto the half-back line, and Shinners moves in to take the mark. Well, the umpire's applying a 15-yard penalty, and look at this. A little bit of a smack up here, and a beautiful left in. Oh boy, 3 feet in the air to let that one go. And this is going to be a difficult game to control as the arm of the law comes out, and he's given the free kick now to Thornley, and Thornley plays it onto the wing on the other side of the ground, and it's a Preston mark out here taken by David Dixon. Well, David Dixon puts it up to the half-forward line. An opening of sensations here in the VFA Grand Final. Walker gets slung, holds the ball, and a free kick will be taken by Peter Waitman of Preston. 5 minutes of play in the first quarter. Dandenong on 1 goal, Preston on 1 goal. Across towards centre half-forward, and Ireland drifting into that ball well in front of Henriksen takes the mark. It's not all going to be Dandenong's way today. You can take that from me. And a 15-yard penalty being applied. And the most colourful person on the field so far is James Harley McMaster, the umpire. All right, up towards the centre forward zone, and Dixon juggling the ball has been awarded the mark. Well, James McMaster might get the best player award yet. Right, Dixon comes in, puts the ball on its way. It drops a little bit short, bounces off the hands of players, and through for the minors. So it takes Preston on to 1-1. They're leading Dandenong 1 goal, and they've been playing 6 minutes into the first quarter. All right, Abraham's taken the kick-off right in towards the centre, and Bert Thornley waiting for it there. Takes the mark. He's about off, but the umpire's calling players back off the mark. Shinners it is who moves off. Laurie Hill coming up from the half-back line, wide of the centre, and Laurie Hill comes in with a left foot kick up towards Ireland. It's over Ireland's head. What's this crunch? Harrington moves in, and it goes over the line for a throw-in again. Oh, a little bit of niggling going on right in front of the boundary umpire. It comes back into play again, and then they move for it. Eddie Mealy gets a mighty knockout from the ruck, but it comes up towards Laurie Hill, who fumbled the ball. Throwing himself in regardless was number 6, Evans. A pick up by Thornley, number 13 of Preston. The wind will drag it back in. See that come right back in then. It was well on its way out, and a pick up by Ray Davies of Dandenong puts it right up in the air. Laurie Hill waiting for it, and also Tolford. Comes through to Danny Hibbert. Hibbert goes to the hand pass to Shinners, and Shinners of Dandenong now across towards centre half forward. Frosty Miller comes out to meet the ball. Leslie with him. Leslie overruns the ball, offloads Miller, and McCarthy comes up to trap the ball. McCarthy of Preston towards the half-forward line, but Johnny Walker comes in for Dandenong, plays it out towards the Mighty Mouse, and I'm referring there to David Sheehan. Sheehan gets it, plays it towards the left-forward pocket. There's Ellis going up with one hand, but it goes over the line, and the throw-in to be affected again. 1-1 to Preston. Dandenong 1 goal, and 7.5 minutes of play have gone by in the first quarter.
I noticed Harrington calling from the trainer from the back pocket. He was a player that went in against the fence here, Phil, a couple of minutes ago.
Right, Ellis gets very high to get the knockout from the ruck, but gets it down to Jimmy Fawcett of Preston, who immediately puts it out towards the boundary line, with Sheehan coming down to Fawcett that extra foot over the line. Not a packed crowd on the outer, but it's certainly packed around this side of the ground.
I bet they're on their way to the ground now, though.
I bet they are. If you're anywhere near the ground, come over. And Danny Hibbert snaps shooting to goal. And Hibbert puts it through for full points to Dandenong. They move on to 2 goals straight with Preston on 1-1.
Well, this is certainly not going to be a repeat of the second grand final when we saw Dandenong kicking 12 goals in that first quarter. The match is pretty even at this stage, possibly Preston having a slight advantage.
And now the umpire, McMaster, in possession here, with Dandenong kicking with what is apparently the wind advantage towards the Fitzroy Street end. Back in it comes once again. It's knocked down by Greg Goad, but it comes into the hands of Rodney Evans. Evans of Dandenong towards the half-forward line. Paddy Flaherty, number 13 of Dandenong, moves across, couldn't get it. Frosty Miller comes through, and the umpire rules holding the ball again, and the free kick will go against Frosty Miller to be taken by Fawcett of Preston. And there it goes right up towards the half-forward line. And who is it? It's Peter Stedwell to take the mark down here in defence. Peter Stedwell's kick in towards the centre, but McMaster calling players back off the mark. He's applying a 15-yard penalty here. Well, we're just waiting for the ball to be returned to Stedwell. Down on the half-back line of Dandenong at the scoreboard end of the ground. Dandenong 2 goals straight, Preston 1-1, a total of 7 points, 9 minutes of play in the first quarter. There he is, the player who played so well in the second semi, Peter Stedwell, towards Paddy Flaherty, who was too far into the ball. Laurie Hill still fumbling. It comes through to Evans. He passes out to Sheehan. Sheehan left puts it towards the half-forward line, and Danny Hibbert is the player to take the mark. Now Hibbert in turn across towards centre half-forward. Flaherty takes it. Oh, and coming down on him pretty solidly was Thornley, and there's a 15-yard penalty, and Flaherty will be put well within scoring range. Nearly giving him a certain goal now. Flaherty lining them up from 20 yards out, directly in front. Flaherty puts it on its way, and I think he's missed it. No, it's full points. And Dandenong go to 3 goals with Preston on 1-1.
Well, Dandenong appeared now to starting to settle down a bit after that upset, although it was their advantage before the game when Miller was awarded the free kick, and also a bit of a melee on the outer side of the ground. Preston recovered the quicker of the two, but it's Dandenong starting to settle down, and their smaller men are playing a big part in this game. Danny Hibbert, Pat Flaherty, and also the mighty mouse, that's David Chen. But they're also being well backed up here by a pretty strong ruck. But Dandenong getting that slight advantage now.
And here comes umpire McMaster for the bounce again, and they move into it, and the knockout secured this time by Goad. Goes wide towards Telford. Telford in turn up towards the half-forward line, but Johnny Walker tackled there by Green. Walker still battling on. This is a courageous effort by Johnny Walker, but through towards Saltmarsh. Saltmarsh then puts the ball out towards Goad, and Goad has marked it within scoring range. The umpire moving down has awarded the free kick, not the mark. That was the player being knocked down after the ball was kicked. That was Saltmarsh. So Goad, although he took the mark, it is actually a free kick for the record. So Goad comes in from the right half-forward flank, puts the ball on its way, and it'll be full points on the board, according to the goal umpire. And Preston go on to 2-1 with Dandenong on 3 goals straight.
Well, there were certainly plenty of goals being scored in this match with only 11 minutes gone. There's 5 goals on the board, 3 goals straight to Dandenong, 2 goals won to Preston, the same amount of scoring shots. We find this young forward line of Preston seem to be functioning fairly well too. Saltmarsh brought into the team last week, the youngest player on the field, only 18 years of age, and also David Dixon, a 19-year-older, out on the other half-forward flanks, playing a pretty important part in this first quarter so far for Preston, up on their forward line. But I'd say the game at the moment very even.
Orchard now caught with the ball, and the free kick's going to Dowdle. Dowdle of Preston, and Dandenong lead by 5 points. There's the kick from Dowdle. It's down over the centre of the ground. The pack set themselves. Ellis hits it away here into the centre looking for Sheehan. Wakeman going through now, takes it out, has one bounce. Sheehan's after him. He grabbed him, but it'll be holding the man. Wakeman now puts it over to Mickey Dowdle. Dowdle puts it down onto the half-forward line, and Goad in front of Walker takes the mark. He's been dumped, but there'll be no 15-yard penalty applied. and Johnny Walker standing right on the mark there, making Goad go back. Goad looking for a lead. There's the kick now. It's right down in towards full forward. Up they fly. Down in front of the pack it comes. A chance there, it's missed. It's taken away by Telford. Telford drives it down into that forward pocket. Steadwell's dropping back on it. Abraham got up. Here's little Ashmead with it. He's got nowhere to turn. His kick goes high into the air and doesn't cover much distance. Up they go. Down it comes to Waitman. Waitman steadies, puts it in towards goal, but it's well offline and brings up only 1 point to take Preston on to 2 goals to Dandenong 3 goals. The difference now 4 points in favour of Dandenong.
Well, that wind may be favouring the Fitzroy Street end of the ground, Peter, but there doesn't seem to be any advantage to either side out there. I noticed Preston kicking against the breeze, but covering a fair distance with those kicks.
Yes, it wouldn't be favouring either end, probably, Ted. There's a big kick out now from Abraham. It makes the centre of the ground, but the free kick, Goad was pushed out of it there, and Goad of Preston will take the free kick. Goad drives it right down back in towards full forward. They'll set themselves. It's punched down here to Steadwell. Steadwell gets it to Waitman, but Waitman snaps again and is well offline. He had time to steady there, missed, brought up only 1 point, and Preston now take their score on to 2 goals, 3-15, trailing Dandenong 3 goals straight, 18. And we'll see Abraham kick out. What a lovely kick from this fellow only a minute ago. It made the centre of the ground. He came straight up the centre, and let's see if he'll do the same again. There's the kick. Again, it's a beauty. Nearly makes the centre. Up they go. Goad got high. Pushed it down to Waitman. Davies in there. Couldn't get his kick in. He was grabbed, but umpire McMaster's going to ball it up. Here's the bounce. Goad and Ellis. Goad gets a big hit down. Beautifully taken by Waitman. Waitman snaps it in towards goal. It's dropping short, but there's Saltmarsh taking the mark. Now the wind pulled that ball up in the air. Both Abraham and Saltmarsh had their backs to the ball. Saltmarsh was in the better position of the two, turned round, took the mark, and now he's right in front and could put Preston in the lead. Saltmarsh lining them up from only about 7 yards out, directly in front. Saltmarsh taking plenty of time over the kick, comes in. There it is on its way, and it's straight through the centre, and Preston have taken the lead. They go to 3 goals, 3, Dandenong 3 goals, Saltmarsh kick 2.
That's goal for goal here in this first quarter, and that's good football too. This wind is not upsetting the brand of football at all. Good football being played by both sides. A pretty pacey sort of game at the moment, and since that first free kick to Frosty Miller by umpire McMaster, I noticed that the 2 occasions that Frosty Miller had his hands on the ball, that umpire McMaster has played the free kick against him in each occasion, both times to Barry Leslie. So Miller's going to be on the hot seat here today. If he gets in front with that ball, most likely he'll get a free kick against him.
Preston now lead by 3 points. Here's the bounce of the ball. They set themselves, and it's taken away there by Danny Hibbard. Hibbard puts it right up in towards full forward. Nearly a mark to Ellis. He's got the crumbs, shoots it out to Orchard. Coming in there is Dowdle. It's over to Waitman. Waitman now clears it out, looking for Telford. Telford got an awkward bounce. There goes Evans in. Evans steadies now, drives it right back up into that forward pocket. They drop back in on it, and Fawcett takes a good mark. Flaherty came out strongly there, but couldn't quite get to it, and Fawcett, positioning himself well into the ball, took the mark. Fawcett now from that back pocket, drives it onto the half-back flank. Evans missed the mark, he dropped it. Hibbard going in after it again. They dive in on top of that ball. Out it comes, and it's cleared now for Preston by Thornley. Here's Shinners coming in now for Dandenong. He puts it back up across that half-forward line, but Bernie McCarthy brings down the mark in defence.
Now the scores are reading. Preston 3-3-21. Dandenong 3 goals straight. And here's the kick, going on towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. They go up for it, pushed wide of the pack, comes through towards Evans from Melee. Evans with Telford right behind him. It's Evans going down to the ground, the ball going over the line, and we'll have the throw in on that left half-forward flank for Dandenong. They're kicking towards the Fitzroy Street end. There you have the scores as Martin gets the knockout from the ruck. It goes into the hands of Evans. Evans across to Orchard, and Orchard takes the mark. Now this will be his first kick coming up. He puts it on its way right up towards the goal square. It's high in the air, and Hill, getting up well, has taken the mark over his opponent and Paddy Flaherty. Laurie Hill of Preston from that last line of defence skies it. Oh, scooped it straight up in the air. Can Orchard get there? No, he couldn't in time. Tried to smother the ball. There's Evans getting pulled around the arm, and Evans will get the free kick. Evans is within scoring range at the true centre half-forward position, about 45 yards out from goal, directly in front at the Fitzroy Street end. They've been playing 17 and a half minutes into the first term. Evans puts the ball on its way, and it'll be offline enough to go through for 1 point to take Dandenong on to 3-1, their first minor score. They're 19 points, trailing Preston by 2. Preston 3-3-21.
Free kicks so far, Phil. Dandenong have received 3 free kicks and Preston a total of 9.
Right, we have Leslie now getting his kick onto the half-back line. They're set out there. Big punch from Orchard comes down into Evans after a hand pass. Evans now with a long kick, and he's put it through for 4 points. Good play, and Dandenong go to 4-1, 25. Preston 3-3-21.
Well, Dandenong just taking control of this game at this stage. They're big men. Orchard dominating there at centre half forward. Just taking control of this game at this stage of the first quarter.
Well, here we have the scores coming up. 25-21 in Dandenong's favour at the 18.5-minute mark into the first quarter. Still waiting for the ball to come back from the Fitzroy Street end of the ground. We get a lot of time on out here. Let's have a look at the marking situation, Ted.
Yeah, marks to Preston in the first quarter have taken 13 to Dandenong 6. And as I said before, 3 free kicks to Dandenong and 9 to Preston.
Well, a big crowd in the stands, as you can see, as we have a look around them from the main cricket stand and then down to the one at the northern end. This is the second new ball on the ground. Right. And umpire McMaster getting ready for this bounce. Players set themselves, and Preston playing very well, better than a lot of people expected. Allen gets thumped right in front of the umpire. He allows the play to continue as a free kick is awarded to Davies about 15 yards away. Between centre half back and the centre of the ground. Now Ray Davies of Dandenong towards centre half forward, and Frosty Miller waiting from behind. Leslie punches it straight up in the air. Laurie Hill punches it wide. David Sheehan moves in on the ball for Dandenong. He's tripped, but players allowed to continue. Look at the toe of Sheehan as he turns around, plays it out towards Flaherty on the flank, and Flaherty on the opposite flank gets the ball, goes to the hand pass to Hibbert. He could get nailed here. Hibbert just gets a short kick in. It's through towards Ellis. Ellis couldn't handle the ball. A pick up by Hill, and Hill puts it out of bounds on the full. And this is a very acute angle for the Mighty Mouse. David Sheehan, number 32 of Dandenong, to come in and take the shot for goal. He's deep in that left forward pocket, kicking towards the Fitzroy Street end of the ground, with Preston on 3-3-21, trailing Dandenong 4-1-25. There's the kick from Sheehan. He's put it out towards the tip of the goal square. Orchard goes up, taps it over his back. Ellis snap shoots for goal, and he's put it through. So Dandenong go to 5-1-31, Preston 3-3-21.
Well, Dandenong's big men appear to me to be getting on top at this present stage. Ellis is coming into the game. Eddie Merlot's rucking very well. And Orchard at centre half forward is also a dominating player in this first quarter. This could be Preston's downfall in this match, as it has been in other games, that they could be falling down in the big man department. In that centre ruck, they only have a couple of ruckmen there, and possibly Harold Martin would be their strongest ruck. But he's going to find himself pretty hard pressed today to compete against these big, tall players of Dandenong.
Ball has been bounced, and a kick from the centre goes up towards that half-forward line of Preston. Coming out of it is Saltmarsh. He snap shoots for goal. There's no one home there. And look at a bounce through for 1 point only. And Preston move on to 3-4-22 with Dandenong 5-1-31. Well, I don't know, Ted, do you think the wind is a big advantage down towards that Fitzroy Street end?
Well, it's not obvious so far, Phil, because Preston are doing as much attacking as Dandenong are in this first quarter.
Nice kick-off then to Ray Davies from Abrahams. Ray Davies with a big roost up towards centre half forward. Waitman waiting for it, failed to take the mark. And in comes Orchard. It was Green rather, and Orchard goes for the long kick, and he puts it through for 4 points again to Dandenong. They go to 6-1 with Preston on 3-4. Yes, that was Terry Reid, rather, of Dandenong, who took
going for that mark and drop it. And once more we find the big fellow, Phil, in Ray Orchard, doing a good job at centre half forward there. Probably this move of Preston's of playing McCarthy at centre half back and Green at centre half forward in this first quarter is definitely not paying off, because Orchard's all over the top of McCarthy at the moment. I'd be inclined to make the move and put Green back to his natural position at centre half back, and then put McCarthy into his natural position at centre half forward.
From the bounce now, up they go, and Go gets a big hit down, but it's taken away by Davies. He's grabbed high, and he'll get the free kick around the neck, said umpire Harley McMaster. Davies now is in the centre of the ground. There's the kick again. It's not a bad one. Crosses that half-forward line, and Ellis from behind has brought down a beauty. A good mark to Ellis. McCarthy had the set in the front position. Now a 15-yard penalty being applied, and for what for, I don't know. McCarthy didn't have the ball. He wasn't slow to return it. Ellis hung on to it when he marked it. Whether he argued with umpire McMaster or not, he may have done, but Ellis now will line them up from about 30 yards out, directly in front. There's the kick on its way, and it looks good. It's straight through, off the boot of Ellis. Ellis has kicked 2, and Dandenong 7-1, Preston 3-4.
All right, Peter Waitman getting ready from wide of the centre half-forward position, passing it up towards Saltmarsh, but a good knock away by Abrahams, and it will be thrown back into play again. Preston 5-4, 34, trailing Dandenong 8-8, 56. There's someone walking out to have a look at Danny Hibbert too, who copped one earlier. All right, it's pushed now up towards the wing. Evans moves in to get the ball. Evans with one bounce in the middle of 4 Preston players. Gets the kick in towards Orchard, and Orchard just couldn't quite mark it. It's Thornley in the van now. Hibbert limping around the pack on that left leg as it's forced over the line. Now Hibbert's right near the area here, just on camera, just on the left. Well, what do you give that for?
Well, I was looking at Danny Hibbert, who's limping very badly. All
right, well, Thornley places it up towards the half-forward line. They're set. McCarthy knocks it wide. No one can get the ball. Davies bearing down on it. He's met softly by Telford. Oh, and down goes Steadwell as well. Players going in regardless of the rain. And Saltmarsh cops another one, and he'll get the free kick and a 15-yard penalty. And there's another Preston player on the ground in the hands of the trainers back here. Ireland's in the hands of the trainers. Just dragging himself up off the ground now. There's Ireland. And boy, are they going in here in the second quarter. 11 minutes into the quarter, and we have at the moment Ray Saltmarsh of Preston to take the free kick. A little bit of foolish play on the part of some of the Dandenong backmen there. They're thumping away a little bit. A few scores being settled out there at the present time, Ted. As Saltmarsh puts it on its way, and it's through for full points. That's his third. Preston move on to 6-4, Dandenong 8-8.
Well, this is the youngest fellow on the field, Ray Saltmarsh. He's doing a pretty good job at ball forward. He's kicked 3 goals so far. He has a very experienced player on him, and Ian Abrahams, and he's copping a lot of attention down there too. And even notice now, while they're waiting for the ball back, there's bumping going on down there with Ray Saltmarsh and Harrington in the back pocket. Now Preston, they're starting to get on top, and I do notice when the play becomes very close, that Preston seems to be coming out of this with the big advantage.
And here's the ball being brought back into the centre at this stage. 12 minutes of play in the second quarter. I hope you're enjoying this through GLB Channel 10 as well as Channel O at the moment. It comes out to Ashmead. He couldn't control it. Evans tried to get it. A pick up by Orchard, who puts it up in the air out here towards Sheehan, and Sheehan moves in to take the mark. The smallest player on the ground. Yes, he's only 5'6", David Sheehan. Peter Waitman's 5'7", and Orchard waiting, drifting around that half-forward line. He's within scoring range with a good roost of the ball. Went to play on. He thought he got a lead then. Probably did. I think he'll go for the long kick. He's put it on its way. It won't get the distance and not the direction either. And it comes off the hands of Flaherty over the line and out in the right forward pocket. Well, there we have the score, 56-40. 16 points the difference in Dandenong's favour. And we're 13 minutes into the quarter. Back in it comes once again. Mealy gets the knockout. It comes across to Dowdle. Dowdle in turn plays it onto the wing on the stand side of the ground. Players coming up to meet the ball here. Right down in front of the camera's Island. And he forces it up the race. And it will be thrown back into play. He's run into a trainer down there, a Dandenong trainer. He's not too happy about it. And the boundary umpire's having a word with the trainer there. All right, back into play it comes. Ellis getting the knockout from the ruck. It goes wide of Reed through to McCarthy. And McCarthy of Preston right up in the air. And waiting for it is Ireland. Moving in was Davies to push it wide. And it'll be Shinners come in to get the kick. He plays it around the wing again. And the umpire blowing the whistle. There's been a little bit of fiddling around behind the play. And the free kick will go to Rodney Evans of Dandenong. Now Evans, who's been playing brilliantly right across the centre line and across the half-forward line, with Kendall coming on the ground, getting ready to replace Danny Hibbert. And the mark has been taken here by Greg Gone. Hibbert now about to limp off the ground here. Right, there goes the kick up towards the half-forward line, and here's Dixon now in the race for the ball, and also coming in is Steadwell. Steadwell will get it across the ground. He tapped it to the boundary line and over the line. Now here's Danny Hibbert just going off the ground near the race here, just sitting down. And it's thrown back into play once again.
And down it comes. Here's a chance for Preston as Ashmead goes through, but it's kicked off the ground here by Peter Steadwell out towards the boundary line, and it beats them out, and a throw-in will take place. Waiting now for the throw-in on Preston's half-forward line. The Rucks set themselves. Up they go, and Mealy gets it away there. It's kicked off the ground by Laurie Hill out to little Ashmead. He picks it up, gets round his opponent. He's getting into trouble again, but quickly gets his kick, and now they come out to meet it. Davies sets himself and has taken a good game mark. There at centre-half back, McCarthy got out of position. Davies now comes in and clears the path for Dandenong as he puts it out onto the wing position. Mealy in front, couldn't take the mark. He comes back again, shoots a hand pass out at Shark, taken away there. Martin going in, but it goes out over the line, and we'll see another throw-in take place on that wing position. Tremendous game here in the grand final between Dandenong and Preston at the Junction Oval. Up they go, and the big hit down by Allen. He hurt his hand when he did that too. Here's Reid going through. He's grabbed, held on to, and he'll get the free kick. Umpire McMaster paying the free kick to Reid. He shoots it over to Davies. He's in trouble, but gets away now. Davies onto the right foot, puts it down looking for Evans, and Evans takes the mark. Laurie Hill creeping a few yards up there on the mark, but he'll be brought back by umpire McMaster. Evans now coming in. Played well for Dandenong too. There's the kick down across that half-forward line. A big back fly, and Dowdle has given away a free kick, I'd say. It's been paid to Orchard. Dowdle got high there, and I reckon he's gone into the back of Orchard. Orchard now, with a big kick right down into the forward pocket. Miller gets out, and there's mark. A good mark to Frosty Miller. Now, he's put himself on a pretty difficult angle, although he's in the right pocket as far as his kicking goes. He's a left footer. And so this is the pocket he should have been leading to. Here comes Frosty Miller in. There's the kick on its way, and it's pretty close. It's straight through, off the boot of Miller. And Dandenong go to 9-8. His kick 2, Preston 6-4.
Well, Frosty Miller kicked 2 so far on this match. Now needs 4 for his 100 for the season. And just looking at the marking there in that second quarter, Dandenong have taken 13 marks to Preston's 5, completely out-marking them, I feel, in the whole of the game. They're big fellas, telling factor as far as Dandenong are concerned, and also they have some very good small players. Ron Evans is dominating this game in the centre. It's a wonder to me that Telford hasn't been moved out of that centre and been replaced with a more vigorous opponent in Bob Island.
Right, here we find from the bounce of the ball, the kick going Preston's way, and it's Telford driving it right up in towards centre-half forward. They fly. Coming out with it now is Bert Thornley. Thornley drives it up into that forward pocket. It's all Preston, but Ireland can't quite get to it, and it's out on the ball, and the free kick will go to Dandenong. Probably Abraham back there to take it. Harrington it is in that back pocket. Harrington now to turn back this attack. There's the kick. It's out looking for Johnny Walker. Little Ashmead is there. Walker couldn't mark. And out over the boundary line it goes, and a throw-in will take place. Allen in there on the ball for Preston with Eddie Mealy. Up they go. Allen got high, got the day up back over the packets taken by Vaughan Ellis. Ellis now puts it down onto the wing position. They set themselves. McCarthy from behind, couldn't bring it down. Here's Thornley going through, lost the run of the ball. McCarthy's battling for it. He gets a short kick in. Here's Laurie Hill going forward. He's got plenty of open space in front of him. Drives it right up in towards full forward. They fly. Here it comes down to little Dixon. He's in trouble, can't get his kick in. It's muffed as it goes through, and it's out of bounds. No score registered there for Preston, so it stands at Dandenong 9-8, Preston 6-4. Well, little Dixon there had to kick into that pack. He had nowhere to go whatsoever. Oh, a big hit away here by Johnny Walker, the halfback flanker. It's out into open territory. Here's Jack Green. Green falls over, tries to get up again, shoots a hand pass, which is taken away by Henriksen. Lyle Henriksen now puts it down to where Shinners is there, but Shinners can't quite mark it. It was out over the line, and a free kick will go to Preston.
I noticed that Preston have switched McCarthy to centre half back again.
Right, the kick now in towards centre-half forward. Telford takes it, puts it over to Thornley. Thornley onto the right foot, puts a big looking kick down in towards goal, and it's straight through. No, offline, 1 point. Offline, well, that looked as though it was going to find the big opening, but swung away at the last moment and brought up a point to Preston to take them on to 6-5 to Dandenong 9-8.
Well, going from the roar from the crowd too, Peter, and also the movements of that goal umpire, it looked to him here as if it could have gone right through.
Waiting now for the kick out. Abraham waiting for that ball back from the big crowd out there behind that goal square. And the scoreboard reading, Dandenong 9-8-62, Preston 6-5-41. Abraham now with the ball, and he'll no doubt favour the outer side of the ground. Abraham coming in now. There's the kick. It's out onto that half-back line. It's starting to drop a little short. They fly. Ellis pushes it down in front of him. It's taken away by Ray Davies. Oh, look at the wind pull that ball up into the air, and it comes straight down. Telford dropped the mark, and Davies took it again. He kicked it, and he got the second kick in too. There it is, down just short of centre-half forward. They race in to meet it. It's pushed away here. Flaherty and Laurie Hill to do battle. Hill gets it, shoots a hand pass over, looking for Fawcett. Fawcett got an awkward bounce, but picked it up on the rebound. Puts it now up onto that half-forward line. Green got up one-handed, but couldn't take the mark. Out over the line it goes for a throw-in to take place.
Dandenong, a 9-8-62, leading Preston 6-5-41. They've been playing 20 minutes into the second quarter. Preston kicking with the advantage of the wind. Martin getting the knockout from the ruck. It comes through to Henriksen. Henriksen of Dandenong towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. Goad came in behind his opponent, pushed it to the boundary line, and it will be thrown back into play. Kevin Shinners is the player out there with Goad. It's on the wing, on the outer side of the ground. Eddie Mealy moving in to the ruck here, tries to get the knockout, but Martin gets it away from him. Martin gets it towards the boundary line, a pick up by Shinners. Shinners turning around with a left foot kick, plays it close to the boundary line. It will be over and could be on the full. Laurie Hill will get the free, just short of the wing, favouring the back line of Preston on the outer side of the ground. They're kicking towards the Fitzroy Street end. And it comes once again. It's right up in the air towards the centre of the ground. Players setting themselves. Henriksen in front. Pushed wide of the pack here. Well wide of the pack. A push in the back to Dowdle. Not paid. Ireland passes it over his head. Coming in to meet the ball here now is Dowdle again. And Dowdle with the left foot kick. Getting it out towards Ashmead. Ashmead racing after it. Tries to turn to trap the ball. He gets it well now. Good bit of play by Ashmead. He gets a left foot kick in towards the centre forward zone. They fly for it. And a Green juggling. And I'll pay that one. But the umpire won't. The umpire called play on. And it comes through towards Johnny Walker, who put it straight into the hands of Peter Stedwell for a mark. Peter Stedwell slightly wide of centre half back. 21.5 minutes of play in this quarter. Stedwell's kick with rain starting to fall again. Up go the umbrellas, and Orchard came in to take the mark. If that was a mark, I'd pay Jack Green his.
Oh, Jack Green's definitely the mark. He had 3 good touches of that ball then.
Well, there's the kick to Ray Orchard, up towards the half-forward line. Heavy rain falling here at the Junction Oval. Punch away by Leslie. Kendall gets it. He punches it again. It's punched back by Allen into the middle of the pack. And the ball getting pretty greasy out there with this heavy rain falling. Paddy Flaherty after the ball, and Flaherty can't quite handle it. It comes through to Laurie Hill, and Hill turns around to roost the ball over the centre line towards the half-forward line. Ashmead goes up in front, punched away by Johnny Walker through to Waitman. And Waitman streaming down the field now, gets the bounce. Walker went straight into him. And the umpire will give a free to Peter Waitman. If he can drag himself up, that is. And there's another one of the players. He looks as though he's got a locked knee back here, Alan. That's back at centre half back. There he is in the hands of the trainers. He's thumping away at the knee, and there's very heavy rain falling here. You can see it on the camera too, I'd say, by this stage on the screen. As Peter Waitman now gets ready to shoot for goal. He's within scoring range with the wind behind him. A desperately needed goal by Preston, one that had put the big interest in the game, and even the players watch it. It's hit the post from that far out. So Preston go on to 6-6-42. Well, they haven't got the run of the ball at the moment, Preston. Dandenong 9-8-62. And he's kicked 3 behinds, Waitman. If he kicks another one, he'll get his own kick. Right. Here comes Abrahams to take the kick off and went for the short pass there to the mighty mouse, David Sheehan. So David Sheehan from the back pocket will get his kick in. He hasn't played a bad game today, David Sheehan. Based on the half-back line, Ellis goes up in the middle of the pack, fails to take the mark. Greg Goad, number 30, moving in there after it. Couldn't get control of the ball, and it will be thrown back into play. There you have the score. 62 to 42, 20 points the difference in Dandenong's favour. Ellis getting the knock here, comes through towards Rodney Evans. He'll knock up getting kicks, this fella. He plays it back into the centre where players are starting to slip and slide everywhere with the rain still coming down. Goad gets the hand pass out to Hill. Good understanding there as Hill plays it up to the forward zone. Oh, and what's this? This is the big chance. Waitman now. Can he turn around? He's hand pass back here towards Green, and Green tried to line them up. Crunched to the ground. Stacks on the mill, and umpire Harley McMaster will come in for a ball up. Had the big opportunity then, Preston, Ted.
Yes, but that greasy ball then, the greasy turf actually upset Waitman. Couldn't hold his feet, Phil.
Well, there she goes once again, and the knockout by Martin came down towards Abrahams. He was held but not in possession and gets the free kick. Dandenong 9-8, 62. Preston 6-6, 42. 24 minutes into the second quarter. We're at 104 points up. And the lowest scoring at the moment in the Bibstowell Ford Falcons to pick the points, 222. And there's the ball taken by Telford. Telford in turn with a kick towards the goals. And it's through for full points. Preston 7-6, Dandenong 9-8. Preston coming back.
Well, that was Dick Telford's second goal. The player, I felt that they should have moved out of the centre because Rodney Evans getting right on top of him. I'd still move Telford off the ball. I'd put him on the half-forward flank and give him a roving commission. He's a very experienced player in this Preston side, and this would help to offset that inexperience of a lot of the other players on that Preston forward line. He's being beaten by Evans in the centre, and the ideal player to place on Evans would be Bob Ireland from the half-forward flank.
Well, Kendall has been in the hands of the trainers as we see a kick going towards the half-forward line, and Dowdle reaching high with 2 bites at it, pulls down the mark right on the 25-minute mark, the time on period. Preston doing a mighty job fighting back here in the second quarter. This will be a no-man standing finish. Martin moved into the ball, couldn't take the mark here. He's got it now, thumped to the ground. Eddie Mealy a bit late in getting rid of it. It comes through to Telford, and Telford moving around with Martin writhing around on the ground out there. Passes it up towards Waitman. Waitman in turn from the right half-forward flank, gets around Johnny Walker and picks up the ball again, runs out himself, but the ball doesn't go out. It's eventually pushed over, and it will be thrown back into play. Let's come back to Martin if we can. He's in a bit of trouble here, just wide of the centre of the ground. There he is, being dragged up by the trainers as the ball is thrown back in. In they move for it, and a big push in the back to Ellis, and he gets the free kick. Well, they're calling for people to come on the ground to Martin too. Calling for the doctor, I'd say. Now Ellis gets the kick wide of the centre. Up goes Goad, fails to take the mark. Hendrickson moves through for Dandenong. Hendrickson's kick up towards the half-forward line, and this will be Orchard to come in. Can't trap the ball, gets it now, and he turns it around towards Reid, and Reid just got it before it hit the ground. He had his elbows on the ground first. So Reid from the left half-forward flank looks for a lead from Frosty Miller. Ball would be pretty greasy now. Now Martin's back in play by the look of it as it comes across towards the right forward pocket. Frosty Miller couldn't mark. Hill going after it, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds.
There's the score. Dandenong leading Preston 9-8 to 7-6, and we've played 27.5 minutes into the second quarter, and heavy rain falling here at the Junction Oval. It's a scramble there, and Laurie Hill will take the free kick for Preston. He was pushed in the back. There's the kick from Hill. It's outplaced well out here to McCarthy. McGord's taken off him by Reid. Reid onto the left foot, puts it in towards goal. It's rolling. It's close. No, it wasn't touched. It's through. Off the boot of Reid, and Dandenong now into double figures with goals. They go to 10-8 to 7-6.
Well, that was tremendous play by Terry Reid. Big Bernie McCarthy thought he had that mark, but Reid came in and just took it straight out of his hands and then kicked that ball. It bowled along. A little bit of luck attached to that one, and not one of the three Preston players could get near that ball before it went through to give Dandenong that 10th goal on the board. Now they lead 10-8 to 6 goals. 7 goals, 6. A very handy lead with this rain falling down as it is at the moment. Made conditions here very greasy.
And it's Dandenong into attack again, put down by Evans, but turned back here as Goad comes through now. Oh, he nearly slipped onto the right foot. Puts it now up onto that wing position. They come out to meet it. No mark taken there. Dixon got high. Harrington now turns back the tide for Dandenong, but there's Martin in the way to take the mark. And that wind's dropped too. The rain's starting to ease a little, although it's still raining here, and the wind has definitely dropped. Hendrickson couldn't take the mark. Thornley going in now for Preston. Shoots it out here, and it's taken away by Dickie Telford. He puts it in towards centre half forward, and Little Ashmeader's marked. Preston.
These wet conditions could suit Preston.
Oh, yes, they're looking good now too. Preston playing a lot more confidently. There it is, up towards full forward, and Allen's marked. Yes, Allen, a great fingertip mark there in the wet conditions and that greasy ball. And Allen now has marked only 15 to 20 yards out, and this is his first kick, incidentally. Well, let's hope he makes the most of it. He's now only about 15 yards out directly in front. Allen lines them up. There's the ball on its way, and it's straight through off the boot of Allen. One kick for one goal, and Preston now 8-6 to Dandenong 10-8.
Down goes Laurie Hill, and the umpire says in the back, and he gets the 3. On the wing on the outer side of the ground at the 21.5-minute mark, 5 minutes into the quarter. Just waiting now, with Hill going for the short pass, and it finds McCarthy. Further afield. The pressure right on Dandenong. Another short pass, and it goes to Ashmead. They're playing the loose man well. These little short passes for Preston. Now he's got to go for the long. Oh, he ran a mile. How far can you run? And Barton has taken the mark. Barton, no, he didn't mark it. He immediately plays on towards centre forward, and this will be a goal. It's a goal, and Preston are a point in front.
The first time in the match that Preston have hit the front, and they were 1 point in front. Dandenong 13-13, Preston 13-14. Oh, 22 minutes, 22 and a half minutes into the final quarter. What a great comeback by Preston in this last quarter in this grand final. So the pressure's really on Dandenong now as they go in pretty thick and fast here, and with the ball getting down onto this Preston forward line once more into attack.
Right and back here, Preston into attack again. There's the ball on its way. Moylan kicked it, and it's out of bounds on the full. So Peter Stedwell will get the free kick. And Ashmead's in the hands of the trainers out here. He's in a lot of trouble. 1 point the difference in Preston's favour. What a great comeback. Well, Abrahams has the ball now in the right back pocket. They're at the 23.5-minute mark into the final quarter. The mark being taken out here by Henriksen. Now can Dandenong settle down and get it up to their forward line? They're trying to progress it there in short stages as it goes out towards the wing. No one able to take the mark. It's a chance for Orchard. Orchard tried to break away. He's tackled, but it's a free kick to Orchard. Now Orchard getting the free. Preston 1 point in front.
Free kicks in this quarter, 7 to Preston, 2 to Dandenong.
And Orchard's left foot kick up towards the centre half forward position. They fly for it. No one in the pack able to take the mark. Dandenong players desperate as they try to move in. Here's a chance for little Sheehan to move in. He's got his hands on the ball. Can he break away? He pushed it through. Flaherty's got it held, and Flaherty gets a free kick. Holding the man, and Flaherty's right in front. Only 20 yards out from goal. What a thriller-diller this one is. A great game. A great pressure game of football. Coming up to the 24.5-minute mark in the final quarter. And this is Paddy Flaherty. A lot depending on this one. Either 4 points, 5 points up, or the score's even. It's on its way, and it's through for 4 points. Dandenong have hit the front by 5. They're 14-13 to Preston's 13-14.
And the crowd are going wild here, and they've got every reason to be too, with Dandenong having, as I thought, this game in the bag, coming up probably around about the 13 or 14-minute mark into the quarter. They held a 4-goal lead, and then Preston was sure certain persistence and determination. Presley got that ball down continually onto their forward line and hit the front by 1 point, and now it's Dandenong back in front by 5 points after that free kick made to Paddy Flaherty right in front of goal, and he made no mistake about it at all. And we've been playing for 25 minutes into this final quarter. Time on is nearly with us, and it's still either side to win this game, with Dandenong just holding the advantage by a slender margin of 5 points. A good mark by Stedwell there in that last line of defence.
This is Stedwell taking a mark in the fence. He plays it out onto that half-back line and finds Davies. Ray Davies now made the difference. 5 points in favour of Dandenong. We're into time on. He was looking for Harrington. Harrington dropped the mark. No mark to Harrington. Moylan comes out with a professional grab. And it's a throw to umpire McMaster. And this lets Dandenong out of trouble as the free kick will go to Davies. Still anybody's game. We're into time on. 5 points the difference in favour of Dandenong. Here's the kick from Davies now. It's a beauty right down onto that wing position. And the markers have been taken. No, Laurie Hill with it from behind. Play on, and the ball now carries out over the boundary line. No, a free kick. It's going Dandenong's way. Kendall with the free kick. And the time we've played 26.5 minutes into the last quarter. 5 points the difference in favour of Dandenong. Here's Kendall now. They're hugging the boundary line, Dandenong. It's down onto the half-forward line. To the back of the pack it comes. Leslie pushes a hand pass through. Dowdle with the run of it. He's beaten for pace there. Oh, it's tough in there as they throw themselves into it now. On top of the ball they go, and umpire McMaster will ball it up.
Coming up to the 27-minute mark in the last quarter. Umpire McMaster comes in for the bounce of the ball. 5 points the difference. McCarthy with a big knockout. Here's Waitman in the van. Can Waitman pick it up and get it down? He's got it up to the forward line. They're set. Up they fly. No one can take the mark. Stedwell kicks it off the ground. Deliberately kicked it out, and it will be thrown back into play again. Crowd right on their toes here in this grand final. Couldn't wish for a better one. As it's been thrown back into play, comes through towards Ray Davies. He takes his time, and it's all Preston here as they come in for the ball. Fawcett couldn't mark it. Rodney Evans moves in, grabs Fawcett. Fawcett gets away, gets a short kick in. Peter Waitman tried to trap it. Davies tried to get it. Telford knocks it on. Look at the pressure football going on. It's Martin pushes it through, and it'll be a free kick to Dandenong. It'll be round the neck against Peter Waitman to Hendrickson, and he gets the free. 28 minutes coming up in the final quarter. 28 minutes. And Hendrickson getting the indication to kick it out towards the flank. Kendall waiting for it, gets away from Ashmead. And Kendall now loping along, plays it around the boundary line. Players setting themselves down here. Frosty Miller right up here. He's kicked 99 goals. He passes the Sheen. Mealy's on his own, and it comes across towards Mealy. Paddy Flaherty couldn't mark it. And he's paid something. He's running down the ground, blowing the whistle, the umpire. And it could be Paddy Flaherty's free kick. Yes, it's Flaherty's free kick for a push in the back. Umpire McMaster indicating this. Well, what a game.
Oh, tremendous, Bill, and I'd say that if Paddy Flaherty kicks was one, this will definitely seal it with the 28-minute mark on the board. Or the crowd, the Preston crowd, no doubt, not too happy with the awarding of this free kick.
Well, they can either make it 1 goal the difference or 11 points. Dandenong and 14-13, 97. Preston 13-14, 92. 29 minutes into the last quarter. It's on its way, and it's a point. 1 point. Well, 1 goal the difference, and if Preston can score a goal, it'll be dead even. Could be a draw.
Right. And I noticed Hughie Mitchell there when that free kick was paid. He jumped up out of his box there on the boundary line. Probably a little disappointed with that result. Would have no doubt liked to see the big one. Here's the kick out now from Leslie. It's onto the half-back line, and Sheehan sets himself, and Sheehan is marked. Little Sheehan. The smallest fella on the ground, and there it is. The siren's gone. Dandenong are premiers for 1971.
And look at the scene here. Players being hugged by one another. Crowd racing out onto the ground. And let's repeat the final scores. Dandenong 14-14, a total of 98. Getting home in a magnificent grand final. Preston were defeated by a goal. 13-14, 92.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the 1971 grand final between Dandenong and Preston. As we introduced Hugh Mitchell at the beginning of the programme, he's here now to comment further. Hugh, do you consider, well, you would, naturally, the best team won on the day?
The best team did win on the day, Phil, and as I said earlier, that as the game progressed, I felt that with the wet conditions, particularly after half-time, it did slow us down a little, but we did prove the best team on the day. Our performance deserved the victory, and it was rather a pleasing effort.
Thank you, Hugh Mitchell, coach of the 1971 Premiership side Dandenong, and no doubt you've all enjoyed the film presented here at this time, and if you did, we would like to mention again that it was brought to you with the compliments of the Prince Mark Hotel in Dandenong. That's where sportsmen meet. We'd like you to give them your support.